Hello, welcome back. I am Nerfeus, you might know me better as Al, and today I'm rocking stunning nail polish thanks to my job working in disability. Today we are talking about the finished Halo MA40 HPA powered Nerf blaster. So last time we did an overview and you got to see the internals. I will put a link to that video in the description if you want to go back, or just have a look on the channel. There's not a lot of vids, you'll find it pretty easy. Today we are just talking about what changes did we make after we had initially finished the build to a testing stage in order to actually finalize it and have it set up the way we want. Okay, so initially we had quite a barrel, which you'll notice in the other video. It was too long. The Supercore is a fantastic piece of kit, but it's not quite as efficient with its use of air as a Specs BZ, and it also has a smaller volume of air, and so there was just too much barrel going on, which meant that the dart was starting to decelerate by the time it reached the scar, which meant it was having a hard time getting through the scar cleanly every shot. And it also meant that when you pulled the trigger rapidly, you would get a significant reduction in FPS with your follow-up shots than you would with your initial shot. That could be overcome with larger hose fittings in here, so you get a greater airflow and the Specs fills up more quickly. The Supercore would fill up more quickly, but 6-8mm hose really is kind of the industry standard that we use, and I couldn't be asked ordering a whole bunch of other bigger fittings, but in the future that might be something I'll look at, because it would be cool to have 300 FPS as fast as you can pull the trigger. That's the dream. Anyway, what have we done? We have shortened the barrel, and I'm going to attempt to keep in shot as we do this. So we've shortened the barrel down to a more manageable 400mm. So you can probably just see through the gaps. The barrel is in there and it ends approximately here where my finger is, and we have an internal Nerfeus scar. Another video on that coming up soon. And then obviously the scar shroud actually slips over the front part of the scar, but not the whole thing. Just enough to maintain the aesthetic of the original blaster. We obviously cut off the original muzzle, and now we have a little bit of shroud with my super cool logo, if I do say so myself. We modified the mag well ever so slightly as well. So before, we're finding that the stopper that I put in place was seating the magazine at the correct height. But of course it was a janky piece of shit, and so eventually, after enough insertions of the magazine, it actually broke off. And then lo and behold, if the Talon butts up to the receiver of the Specs BZ, it obviously is still positioning it in the right spot, and so we modified where the receiver sat by a couple of millimeters so that the front edge of the Talon makes contact with the bottom of the receiver, seating everything in properly, and now feeding is magnificent. As it was before, but a little bit more solid. So still a very easy magazine insert. It's still solid. It's not dropping out, but it's super easy swap, which is important because bullpup and you don't want to be mucking around any more than you have to. And the last thing we did was to add in iron sights. So just a piece of Nerf to Picatinny rail here to mount the rear sight onto, and then on the front, which is where the jank magic is, we used the I suppose it's like a mock gas block and gas tube, because in Halo lore this actually uses 7.62 cartridges, I believe. In the video game, why in the future that's the case, who would know, but it's an assault rifle in Halo, and so it has a gas block. Stop talking shit. We used the faux gas block to screw on the front iron sight, and then it was adjustable, but once I got it all zeroed in and locked, then I have epoxied it in place and then just tidied it up. And that was a simple matter of just taking my extremely cheap Magpul sights that I got from AliExpress. I think these are like $5, and just popping out the pin on the front one to remove the actual sight part and ditch the body, and then 2 convenient holes to screw it in place. Ta-da! And we are of course left with the complete final product, which in my opinion looks pretty firkin' sweet. Alright, enough talking about what it ended up being. Let's have a quick look at some range footage which I shot shortly after completing. I'm shooting offhand at a new target that I have set up, which has some orange markers on there, which can either be targets or they can be hold over or hold under points of reference. So in this video I am aiming at the top orange dot on the target, and because it is only 25 meters away and this is zeroed for approximately 40, I am holding under the target, aiming at the center orange dot, and you can see the accuracy as follows. Okay, so you've seen the completed Halo MA40 HPA powered Nerf blaster. We've talked about all the changes and things. I absolutely love this, and man oh man, I can't wait to take this out next weekend when it'll be my first event back after the Christmas break with Victorian Dartsoft Club. Really stoked to try it out and see how it actually goes in the field, because that's the only way you can actually practically test what you've built. What happens on the range never translates over into the field, and so we shall see if this thing is indeed wasteland proof. It is so comfortable, compact, so easy to manipulate, still cool, easy mag changes, shoulders well, and of course with the extended length of pull, beautiful cheek weld on the cheek rest here, and so I'm just super keen. All right, hope you enjoyed the final product, and maybe it'll inspire you to do something with your Halo MA40. Cool. All right guys, I'll see you in the next one.